Hey, what's going on? Ryan here, Triathlon.com. Talking to you really quick about staying healthy leading up to your race, especially looking to 2, 3 weeks out from race day. A lot of us are become really aware of our surroundings and all the germs that could possibly be out there, and we turn to real germaphobes. The last thing you want to do is get sick leading up to a half Ironman, a full Ironman, and being kind of putting your immune system in kind of jeopardy and being susceptible to being ill and not being able to actually do the race or compete or basically get up and get to the finish line. So we're all hyper aware of our immune system and hyper aware of all the germs that are out there. So in this day and age, things are floating around out there. So we just want to have a conversation of how you can best prepare yourself to get ready to get the race day. And basically, I implement this all the time. Like, it's not just something I'm really hyper aware of 2 to 3 weeks out. We've got 3 kids. I've got one in middle school, I've got one in elementary school, and one that goes to daycare. So we've got 3 opportunities for germs to be coming from everywhere. So if we don't institute some sort of level of hygiene around our house, if one kid gets it from their school, they bring it in here, and it kind of floats around here, and it can go to some other people's school, go to work, it goes to everybody. It just snowballs. So we try to stop it here whenever somebody gets to the house. So inside our house, we try to do as much as we can without going overboard. We're not wearing surgical masks and gloves and getting in our gear or whatever. But you can do certain things, especially as endurance athletes. You could be hyper focused on doing the things in your house to kind of minimize your exposure to any kind of germs or anything out there. So the first one is to boost your immune system. So you could start right there. Personally, we do supplements. So I take vitamin C. My kids do too in the morning. They have multivitamins that we take. I do vitamin C in the evening too. So it's just something, it's scientifically proven. If you talk to a few doctors, and depending on where you get your information from, it can be more effective than, Tamiflu or other medications or anything. So if you could boost your immune system to its highest peak potential, then you've got your first line of defense is your immune system fighting off anything that kind of you come in contact with, or it reduces the impact if you do get an illness or anything. The next is getting sleep. If you're not getting your proper amount of sleep and you're doing this training on top of that, on top of regular life and all the stress that comes with it, you're just digging yourself into a deeper hole. So you got to make sure you're getting your sleep every night, whether it be 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Personally, I go for 8 hours. I try to cut out the TV in the evening that I end up staying late, just mindlessly watching TV because it's worthless. So I make sure I go to sleep and then get up and get my workouts done and everything in life goes on. So make sure you're getting your sleep. Nutrition is key too. So make sure you're fueling up after your workouts to help your body recover. You're not digging that hole deeper for your immune system by not doing proper nutrition. Don't be focused on race weight and losing weight. Don't be cutting calories to try to lose weight on purpose. Just make sure you're eating the right stuff, and the weight should come off kind of naturally as you're increasing your training load. The next one is hygiene. It's the same old thing. Wash your hands and do it for 20 seconds. I know this day and age that's just out there everywhere, the first line of defense. Wash your hands early and often. Keep your hands off your face, out of your face. I know as soon as you think about this, and it's like, oh, my nose itches, and I can't. And you find yourself just kind of sitting there with your hand on your face. Do everything you can to try to keep your hands off your face. Keep your hands off other people's faces. Keep your hands to yourself, all that kind of good stuff. But just wash your hands, keep your hands off your face. Wipe off all your surfaces. We have sanitizing wipes here that we use. Purell makes them, Clorox makes them, whatever. So we wipe down all our surfaces, our counters. We try to do it on a kind of daily basis, but it's a busy life and sometimes it doesn't happen. But just wipe down the commonly used surfaces, handles and countertops, and you're reducing your chances quite substantially on picking up germs that people bring in the house. As soon as everybody comes in the door, wash your hands, wipe down the doorknobs and whatever, and then call it good and go about your day. Also, if you're using hand towels, make sure you're washing on a consistent basis, because if you don't wash them well and you use the hand towels, it's all over the hand towels too. So it's something to keep in mind. And then there's always hand sanitizer. So if you don't have an opportunity to wash your hands, I try to bring travel hand sanitizer in our car. With 3 kids, like I said, we try to bring sanitizer, and you just make sure that you get it on there nice and thick and wash your hands and sanitize, and you're good to go. So especially when you're traveling too, there's going to be opportunities. If you're driving, you can bring stuff with you I like to bring wipes. And if you're going someplace, when you land or whenever you get there, you can go out to the grocery store when you're picking up groceries or whatever you're doing. do pick up sanitizing wipes, and I go in hotel, Airbnb, wherever I'm staying. I go in, I wipe all the surfaces down. I fully trust that most places are doing the proper thing, what they should be when cleaning. But even without any kind of super bugs going around or anything, I just like to wipe off the surfaces for peace of mind. It's been cleaned, and I've seen it, and I did it, and you're good to go. So I recommend that, especially race week. If you get there 3 to 4 days in advance, just wipe down everything. That way you don't have to worry about if something, for some reason, got on the surface. Even if it's not related to people, if it just came in the air and just landed on the counter, you got it wiped up, no problem. The last part is get your family's buy-in. Like I said, we've got 5 people here in our house. We've got 3 kids and 2 adults. So if everybody's not bought into this plan, if one person just comes in and doesn't care, doesn't wash their hands, if you don't monitor and police people to do the right thing, it's kind of all for naught. I mean, you reduce your chances, but if one kid coming from middle school doesn't wash her hands, comes in the house, gets your hands all over everything, and the flu's going around the school or something, she just brought it into your house. So you got to make sure that everybody's on board. You got to make sure build habits. So what does it take? 30 days, I think, to build habits, and like 1 day to break it or something crazy. So make sure you're building a habit of being clean and conscious about keeping the bugs and everything out of your house and germs. And like I said, we do this year round, and it just makes it easier, so it's not a specific focus, those last 2 or 3 weeks where you want to keep yourself in a bubble, wear surgical gloves and masks and everything so you don't get some weird illness, cold, flu, or whatever right before race week. But if you do this on a continuous basis, it shouldn't be a problem, and especially boosting your immune system, it can really help you out. So that's my quick tips on staying healthy leading up to your race, so you can approach race week and not be sick and not have any problems. If you want any other tips or any questions or anything, just let me know, and I'll be happy to go over them. Thanks.